Well, church members often reach out to their pastor if there is an illness, a death, or a crisis in their life. That also includes abused women. Navigating that situation with families can be difficult. I'm joined now by Mel Ramirez, the leader of the Faith Task Force, and Janchelle Wallace, author of the book Beautifully Broken Pieces. Ladies, thank you both so much for being here.
Thank you.
Now, let's start by talking about this upcoming workshop first for pastors and clergies. This isn't something like a lot of people, I said, when you go to your pastor, you usually think, about death, about other things, but not really about domestic violence and abuse. Is this more common than most people realize in churches?
It is, and when you get online and just look up domestic violence statistics, those statistics apply to every person. So that person could be somebody walking into your congregation, and they are in there. And a lot of the times we think of physical abuse, but there's many other types of abuse. And those are the ones that are hidden behind smiles and really shiny looking families, people that are involved in ministry that you don't realize who they are at first.
When we talk about that, so is this something though, up until this point and like recently, that it's just kind of one of those swept under the rugs and this really isn't a big deal, if your husband does this or treats you this way, or if your wife treats you that way, behind closed doors, it's not really something for the church to address?
It has been that in the past, and I know that there's a lot of area churches that have already started to address this and bring that darkness into the light, so to speak, so that people feel safe and that they feel that they're coming to somebody that understands what they're going through and can help them. So this training was based on a response from the community saying, yeah, we want to help. And Regina McDevitt of the Family Justice Center, she's our executive director, she had a vision for a community-based, faith-based task force, which is what we've put together. It's interfaith, it's for pastors and clergy and all area faith leaders as well. So we're really bringing in trainers from Called to Peace Ministry that's been doing this for decades, and they will be ministering through a training for these faith leaders in the area to kind of understand domestic abuse and how to identify it, how to come alongside and support the people going through it, and then help them get to safety and hopefully, long-term healing.
So this is a one-day?
It is. It's August 22nd. It's going to be at the Christ United Methodist Church. They're allowing us their space. The Chattanooga House of Prayer has been a wonderful support as well. It'll be from 12:30 to 4:30 p.m. And we will provide a book from Called to Peace Ministries. Joy Forrest, their executive director and founder, is providing those for us at no charge for everybody that's registered, and we'll also be providing lunch.
Okay, and Janchelle, let's talk about you. You have a book out, Beautifully Broken Pieces, and it's about your story.
Yes.
Tell us about your story.
My story, it started from when I was little. I've been in abusive situations since I was very, very young. So this book it tells different parts of my life. Like the first one is Sacrificial Lamb, which is just an overview of one of my abusers telling me that I was the sacrificial lamb. And I was in a ministry in the church where I was abused, but I was considered the sacrificial lamb. The next book is The Darkness, so it deals with the times I went through depression. And then the next chapter is Know Your Place. I had to find my place in different parts of my life. And the last book is The Red-Headed Stepchild, which is the last chapter, which for years I thought the Lord didn't love me. He didn't care anything about me. So I thought I was like the red-headed stepchild that he didn't care about. So at the end of each chapter, it is how the Lord helped me to get over those things. Like he told me that, in a way I am the sacrificial lamb. I had to go through that so that I can reach out to somebody else that's going through like I went through. And in the darkness, it's like you had to experience that so that you can help somebody else that's dealing with depression. And a lot of people didn't know because I hid it, like she said, behind a smile. Anytime you ask me, hey, how you doing? I'm fine, and you?
And so many people do that.
Yes.
And that's not the case. If we could only, like you said, really see behind that mask, right? It's almost like that depression commercial where they're holding up the fan, and it's like, if you only could see what's really behind there, and that was you.
And so the book is simply just my story. I hope that someone would read it and be like, that's me, and would have the courage to try to seek healing or try to go to places like the Family Justice Center, because Had I known about the Family Justice Center, I probably would have went to the Family Justice Center. And they offer so much. I encourage anybody, if you just want to be curious, to go to see what they offer. They offer for abuse for both men and women, I do believe. Because believe it or not, since I've connected with Mel, that there are men that get abused, but they don't speak out as much because, you know, they're the man.
Right, they're the man. And you think that doesn't happen to men?
And yeah, you think that doesn't happen to men, but it's very, very easy for it to happen to them, because who would the cops believe? A crying woman or the man that has the bruises on his face? So the overall goal of the book is to show that through my horribly broken life, that all of those broken pieces put together is who I am now. And I just want to give back. I want to be an advocate for those who feel like they don't have a voice, don't have the courage to speak up, and to point them in the way of people like Mel and Miss Regina at the Family Justice Center, so that they can get the help that they need and that they can get out of that situation and move forward in life.
That's so important. And as we wrap up, I think one of the things I'm hearing from a lot of people in these situations is also, as you get the help and the treatment that you need, which is so important, reaching out, is also that you love yourself again.
Yes.
You look in the mirror and you can say, I love myself again. And I am special. So that's so important. Well, again, this is something that we're going to put the information on the screen so that ministers and clergy can know about this program. And this is something that they will continue to address in their church with their parishioners. Ladies, thank you both so much. And we also have the information about your book as well, Jincell, that is available on Amazon. So thank you both so much for being here.
Thank you.